1962 Ford Galaxie 500 XL, price, $8,500 or best offer, location, Lindenhurst, New York. Up for sale is my beloved 1962 Ford Galaxie 500 XL, a two-door hardtop that represents not just another old car on the market but a true piece of family history, an exceptionally original survivor that has been cared for within the same family since the very day it was purchased brand new at the dealership, and because of that continuity it carries with it a kind of authenticity, a soul that many other cars of this era simply no longer have. This is not a vehicle that has passed through dozens of owners, suffered from questionable modifications, or been forgotten in a field. It is a genuine one-owner, numbers-matching car, with just 85,000 original miles recorded on the odometer, a figure that translates to very modest yearly use when you consider that it has survived more than 6 decades. Finished in its factory-correct paint, the car proudly wears a natural patina that has developed over time, a finish that tells its story honestly without hiding anything behind fresh paint or body filler, and while some might be tempted to repaint it to make it gleam like new, there is something deeply charming about a survivor car that wears its age with grace, still looking handsome and dignified even without the showroom shine. Importantly, there is no major rust, rot, or structural corrosion anywhere on the body or frame, and that is something truly remarkable for a car of this vintage. The undercarriage is clean, the edges around the wheel wells and panels are intact, and even the typically vulnerable spots that tend to rust out on old Fords have been spared, making this a very solid foundation for either preservation or further restoration. Under the hood beats the heart of the original 352 cubic inch V8, the same engine it left the factory with back in 1962, and that numbers-matching detail is worth noting for collectors who care about originality. This motor starts easily, settles quickly into a smooth idle, and delivers strong, healthy performance once you're out on the road, reminding you why these big block Fords were so beloved in their time. The sound it makes is confident without being obnoxious, the kind of deep, throaty note that brings a smile to your face and reassures you that the car still has plenty of life in it. Power is sent to the wheels through the factory automatic transmission, which shifts effortlessly through all the gears with no hesitation or drama, allowing for a relaxed, enjoyable driving experience whether you're cruising down a quiet country road or rolling along the highway at speed. In preparation for sale, and simply out of responsible maintenance, I've recently addressed the braking system from front to back. Every brake line is new, the master cylinder has been replaced, and the brake booster is fresh, meaning you can enjoy the vintage driving feel without having to worry about outdated safety components. The braking response is firm and reassuring, which is not something you can always say about a 60-year-old car, and that peace of mind is worth a lot. The fuel system has also been gone through carefully. The carburetor has been rebuilt to ensure smooth and reliable fuel delivery, the fuel lines have been flushed and cleaned, and the entire system is functioning just as it should, so you don't have to worry about stalling, flooding, or other common issues that can crop up on older cars that have been sitting. Currently, the car sits on a set of clean Edelbrock 409 alloy wheels, which are nearly flawless and paired with excellent tires that provide both safety and style. The wheels add a tasteful touch of period-inspired performance flair without taking away from the car's originality, striking a nice balance between authenticity and usability, and the overall stance of the car looks just right. Step inside and you'll find an interior that is remarkably original, from the factory upholstery and carpeting to the headliner, all of it preserved well enough that you immediately feel transported back to the early 1960s the moment you open the door. This being the XL model, the cabin benefits from desirable bucket seats and a center console, which lend the car a more sporty and upscale feel compared to the bench seat versions of the Galaxie. The seats are comfortable and supportive, the materials retain their character, and the layout is both practical and stylish in that unmistakable early 60s Ford way. The one notable flaw is the dash pad, which over time has developed a split, something that happens frequently with cars of this age due to sun exposure and heat cycles. If you're aiming for a show-quality interior, replacing the dash pad would be the one job to consider, but otherwise the cabin is honest, complete, and very presentable. All of the equipment inside works as it should, from the gauges and lights to the switches, which is a testament to how carefully this car has been preserved and maintained over its lifetime. Unlike many classic cars that require trailering, heavy investment, or extensive work before they can even be safely enjoyed, this Galaxie is ready to drive and enjoy immediately. It is not a fragile museum piece that must be babied, nor is it a worn-out project waiting for endless hours of labor. It is a true turnkey cruiser that you can take out today with confidence. The car comes with a clean New York title in hand, making it easy to transfer ownership and get it registered for the road. At its core, this Galaxie represents a rare opportunity, whether you are a purist collector looking for an honest, single-family survivor to keep in original form, or an enthusiast who wants a solid, rust-free platform to eventually upgrade or restore to your personal vision. This 500XL delivers on every level. It is rare to find a car that balances originality, mechanical health, structural soundness, and affordability quite like this one, and given its history, condition, and overall completeness, it stands out as a special find in today's classic car market. Serious buyers only, cash sale preferred, and I welcome any questions from those who understand and appreciate just how unique and special this Galaxie truly is. Number 2. 1973 Chevrolet Malibu, price, $7,000 firm, location, Yukon, Oklahoma. For sale is a 1973 Chevrolet Malibu that has received a great deal of mechanical restoration and modernization, making it not only a dependable driver today but also an excellent foundation for someone who wants to continue refining or customizing it further, all while enjoying it on the road in the meantime. Finished in a bold and eye-catching shade of red, this Malibu has a commanding presence wherever it goes, standing out with confidence and turning heads whether parked at a local cruise night or rolling down the highway. Mechanically, it has benefited from significant investment by its previous owner, starting with a rebuilt transmission that shifts with smoothness and firmness, providing both confidence and durability. The engine starts easily, idles smoothly, and pulls strongly, giving the impression of a car that has been thoroughly sorted out rather than left to chance. Supporting systems have also been updated, including a brand new radiator to keep it cool, a new power steering pump for easy maneuvering, and a new alternator to ensure reliable electrical power. The suspension has been gone through, making the car ride confidently without the wallow or looseness that many older A-bodies suffer from, and the braking and steering systems feel solid and trustworthy, important factors when considering a classic car for regular enjoyment. The car sits proudly on fresh rims paired with new tires, which not only add to its visual impact but also improve safety and handling. Inside, the cabin has been refreshed with new carpeting, giving it a cleaner and more inviting feel, though the headliner will need replacement to bring the interior up to a more finished level. A custom sound system has been installed, complete with subwoofers and an amplifier, which makes it a great car for cruising with music at car meets or on long highway stretches. Like many older vehicles, it isn't without its quirks, and in this case, some electrical gremlins affect the brake lights and turn signals when the headlights are switched on, a common and manageable issue that most enthusiasts can resolve with some basic wiring work. The seller has stated that over $15,000 has already been invested into this Malibu, and when you drive it, it's clear that most of the hard mechanical work has already been handled, leaving you with a solid, dependable, and fun-to-drive A-body Chevy that still has room for finishing touches. With a clean and clear Oklahoma title, this Malibu is ready to go, offering an excellent opportunity for someone who wants to own a classic GM muscle-era platform without having to start from scratch, a car you can enjoy immediately while still having the flexibility to make it your own. Number 3. 1979 Plymouth Horizon 4-door hatchback, price, $4,999 or best offer, location, New York. Offered here is an exceptionally rare and wonderfully well-preserved 1979 Plymouth Horizon 4-door hatchback, a compact car from the late 1970s that has quietly developed into a cult favorite among enthusiasts of vintage small cars, and one that you almost never see anymore in such clean and original condition. With incredibly low original mileage and a history of careful storage, much of its life spent inside a garage, this Horizon stands out as a true survivor from a forgotten era. Mechanically, it remains in excellent shape, starting quickly, idling smoothly, and driving without issue, still delivering on the economy and reliability that Chrysler designed these cars to provide when they were first introduced as affordable, efficient alternatives to the gas-guzzling vehicles of the time. There are no known mechanical faults, no troublesome leaks, and no major rust anywhere on the body, which is remarkable for a car of this type and age. The body panels align properly, the lines are straight, and even the original paint still holds a respectable shine, showing the level of care it has enjoyed over the decades. The real standout feature of this particular Horizon is the interior, which is not only original but also remarkably well preserved, featuring leather seats, an incredibly rare option for this model, that show no cracks, rips, or significant wear, something almost unheard of in vehicles from this period. The dash, door panels, and headliner are also intact and clean, providing a cabin that feels fresh, inviting, and almost shockingly well kept. While it may not have the raw performance or muscle car appeal of a bigger, more powerful classic, this Horizon is undeniably a conversation starter, a quirky and nostalgic car that draws interest at shows, cruise nights, and vintage gatherings precisely because of its uniqueness and rarity. It embodies a kind of late 1970s charm, offering a slice of everyday automotive history that is now nearly extinct. With so few examples left in this condition, this Plymouth Horizon represents an affordable and enjoyable entry into classic car ownership, one that can be preserved as a collector's piece, lightly restored to showroom glory, or even used as an unusual but practical daily driver that turns heads for its rarity and character. Number 4. 1973 Ford F-250 Camper Special, price, $7,200, negotiable, location, Durham, North Carolina. Up for sale is a beautifully preserved, one-owner 1973 Ford F-250 Camper Special, a heavy-duty classic truck with just 63,000 original miles and a clean North Carolina title, representing not only a rugged workhorse from Ford's golden era but also a piece of well-preserved history. Equipped with a stout 360 cubic inch V8 engine that has been meticulously maintained throughout its life, this truck still runs strong, delivering the kind of low-end torque and reliable power that made Ford's heavy-duty pickups so respected in the early 1970s. Backing the engine is a smooth-shifting automatic transmission, which makes driving it straightforward and enjoyable whether you're in town or stretching its legs on the open highway. Recent updates include the installation of a new carburetor, new brake components for safer and more confident stopping, and a set of brand new tires that ensure reliability and traction. Structurally, the truck is incredibly solid, having spent its entire life in the South where the climate is far kinder to vehicles, and as a result the frame, floors, and body panels are rock solid with no structural rust issues to worry about. The paint shows some expected wear and fading, which is to be expected after half a century, but it still presents well, retaining much of its original paint and trim, which enhances its authenticity and vintage charm. Inside, the truck's cabin remains in good shape, with its original bench seat, door panels, and dashboard intact, though the dash itself could use a little attention. The air conditioning is currently not functioning, but all of the other core systems and controls work as they should. The rear brakes may need adjustment or further inspection, but overall the truck is complete, usable, and road-ready. Whether you're looking for a vintage tow rig, a weekend cruiser with serious presence, or a practical farm truck that carries the patina and character of a bygone era, this F-250 Camper Special is a rare find. Its combination of originality, mechanical soundness, and authenticity makes it an excellent addition to any Ford enthusiast's collection, as well as a reliable, working piece of American history that still has decades of life ahead of it. Number 5. 1963 Pontiac Bonneville, price, $5,000, location, Modesto, California. Here's your chance to own a true piece of Pontiac heritage with this 1963 Bonneville, a full-size coupe offered at a very approachable entry-level price that gives you a lot of classic American iron and performance potential for the money. Finished in a subtle off-white color that suits its elegant but muscular lines, this Bonneville hides serious performance under the hood thanks to a powerful 455 cubic inch Pontiac big block engine paired with a TH400 automatic transmission and a stout 12-volt rear end. According to the seller, the drivetrain has only about 300 miles on it since a rebuild, which means the engine pulls hard, the transmission engages crisply, and the entire driveline feels tight, responsive, and full of fresh life. The bones of this car are clearly strong, giving you the confidence that you're starting with a solid foundation, whether your vision is restoration, customization, or simply cruising it as is. Inside, the car features a brown interior that remains mostly intact and comfortable, with a layout that reflects the luxurious yet performance-minded approach Pontiac was known for in the early 1960s. While the cabin isn't show-ready, it is complete and entirely usable, offering that nostalgic experience of sliding behind the wheel of a big 60s Pontiac. The body itself is solid, the drivetrain is sorted, and the car comes with a clean California title, being sold as is with some cosmetic and detail work still needed. The beauty of this Bonneville lies in its potential. It could be restored into a stunning boulevard cruiser that turns heads with its size, presence, and performance, or it could be developed into an aggressive street sleeper with plenty of muscle under the hood. At this price point, it represents a tremendous amount of car for the money, combining big block power, classic styling, and an iconic Pontiac nameplate, and with some vision and elbow grease, it has the potential to become something truly special. Number 6. Offered at just $4,000 and currently sitting in Albright, West Virginia, this 1970 Ford Maverick represents more than just another old compact car. It is a tangible slice of Ford's early attempt to carve out a new category of small, affordable, yet stylish vehicles at a time when American automakers were being challenged on all sides by the rising wave of imports and the shifting expectations of car buyers. The Maverick was launched as Ford's answer to the Volkswagen Beetle, Toyota Corona, and other foreign compacts that were stealing market share in the late 1960s. With its lean proportions, fastback-inspired roofline, and distinctive long hood, short deck styling, the Maverick was an instant hit with younger drivers, first-time buyers, and even families looking for a second car that didn't feel like a stripped-down appliance. It was affordable when new, it was easy to maintain, and it carried enough personality to be more than just basic transportation. What makes this particular Maverick especially appealing is that it has been upgraded in a way that captures the very spirit of 1970s hot rodding. Instead of retaining the modest straight-six or the smaller 302 V8 that these cars often carried, the owner dropped in a more potent 351 V8, paired with a smooth automatic transmission, giving the compact Ford the kind of muscle car-style punch that transforms it from a commuter into a street machine. The seller states that the engine is in running condition, which is a strong start for anyone considering a project car, and the list of recent updates shows that attention has been given to key systems that matter most for reliability. A brand new radiator keeps cooling temperatures in check, a new starter and solenoid ensure strong and dependable ignition, and these fresh components mean that the Maverick is not just a pretty shell but a vehicle with genuine functional capability. Though it is not presented as a fully restored, show-level example, the car comes with a useful mix of new and used parts, offering flexibility for the next owner depending on whether they want to take it down the path of a complete restoration, build it into a weekend drag car, or simply keep it as a raw but drivable classic. At just $4,000, this Maverick delivers something that is hard to find in today's collector car market, an affordable entry point into the world of vintage V8 power that does not require a second mortgage. It is a reminder of an era when young gearheads were stuffing bigger motors into small cars just to prove that they could, and it gives modern enthusiasts the same opportunity to relive that spirit without the high buy-in cost of a Mustang or Torino. For someone who wants to stand out at the next local cruise night with a car that sparks conversations and offers endless possibilities, this Maverick is ready to be enjoyed, tinkered with, and appreciated for everything it represents. Number 7. Offered for sale in Stone Mountain, Georgia, with an asking price of $4,500, this 1969 Chevrolet Impala is a project car that already has the most expensive and critical work completed, making it one of those rare opportunities for enthusiasts who love the idea of building a hot rod-style full-size Chevy without having to start from scratch. The 1969 Impala was part of Chevrolet's long-running tradition of big, bold cars that delivered both comfort and presence, but this example has been given a mechanical makeover that pushes it firmly into muscle territory. Under the hood sits a freshly rebuilt 350 cubic inch small block V8, paired with a durable 3-speed turbo-hydromatic automatic transmission. Yet this was not just a standard rebuild. The engine was upgraded with Summit Racing forged pistons for strength, a high-lift comp camshaft to optimize breathing and performance, a Holley distributor to ensure reliable ignition timing, and an Edelbrock dual-plane intake manifold topped with a performance breather to maximize airflow. To complete the package, a set of dual Flowmaster mufflers handles the exhaust, giving the Impala that unmistakable deep, throaty growl that announces its arrival before it even comes into view. Polished Moroso valve covers sit in the engine bay as both functional hardware and a badge of pride, signaling to anyone who looks that this car was built with performance in mind. Structurally, the car is in primer, but the body is reported to be straight and solid, with important restoration work already completed, including a new trunk pan, new rear shocks, and a replacement gas tank, upgrades that not only increase safety and longevity but also remove a lot of the heavy lifting that can overwhelm new owners. The interior, however, will need some attention, with the headliner in particular requiring replacement, but this is often a much simpler task compared to rebuilding an engine or sourcing body panels. One important note is that the car comes with a bill of sale only, which is typical for certain older vehicles in states with different title laws, but it is something for the buyer to confirm depending on intended use. What this Impala ultimately offers is a chance to step into a car that blends the presence and scale of a late 1960s full-size Chevrolet with the soul and sound of a hot rod. It is not finished, but that is part of the appeal. This is a car for someone who wants to make it their own, add their own choices of paint, upholstery, and detailing, while enjoying the fact that the heart of the machine is already strong, reliable, and ready to run. For less than $5,000, it is a car that combines power, potential, and value in a way that is almost impossible to find in today's market. Number 8. Sitting in West Milford, New Jersey, with a price tag of $8,500, this 1964 Ford Falcon is a survivor that shows just 76,000 miles on the odometer, a figure that speaks to its careful use and preservation over the past 6 decades. The Falcon, introduced in 1960, was Ford's attempt to create a compact car that could compete with the likes of the Chevy Corvair and imported economy cars while still delivering the style and comfort that American buyers expected. By 1964, the Falcon had established itself as a cornerstone of Ford's lineup, offering lightweight handling, clean design, and a versatile platform that appealed to a wide range of buyers. In fact, the Falcon's architecture would go on to serve as the foundation for the Mustang, which makes cars like this particularly significant in Ford's history. This example, with its two-door body style, simple yet elegant round headlights, and understated lines, captures the essence of mid-1960s American motoring at its finest. The listing does not specify the engine currently under the hood, but with just 76,000 miles, it is easy to imagine that much of the car remains original, and that alone makes it a desirable base for collectors or restorers. For someone interested in building a period-correct cruiser, this Falcon offers the perfect canvas, with plenty of room to add tasteful upgrades without erasing its inherent charm. For hot rodders, the Falcon is also an appealing platform, as its lightweight and compact dimensions make it an ideal candidate for V8 swaps or performance builds, much like the early Mustangs that shared its DNA. And for purists, the low mileage makes it equally tempting to simply preserve and maintain it as a time capsule, a car that shows what daily American transportation looked like in 1964 before the muscle car boom took full hold. Whether parked at a local car show, driven through quiet suburban streets on a sunny weekend, or customized into a unique expression of performance and style, this Falcon represents the kind of car that connects owners directly to history. At its asking price, it offers not only affordability but also a wealth of possibilities, appealing to collectors, hobbyists, and enthusiasts alike. Number 9. Here is a true piece of vintage American luxury, a 1977 Lincoln Continental sedan, offered for just $2,500 in Alva, Oklahoma. By the late 1970s, the Lincoln Continental was one of the ultimate statements of wealth and status, with its enormous proportions, slab-sided styling, and quiet, velvety ride. This particular example is finished in a rich red exterior that still carries presence even today, and beneath its hood lies the legendary 460 cubic inch V8 engine paired with a smooth automatic transmission, the kind of powertrain that defined luxury motoring of the era with effortless torque and whisper-quiet cruising. What makes this Lincoln truly remarkable is its mileage, just 26,000 miles reported, an astonishingly low figure for a nearly 50-year-old vehicle. That mileage suggests decades of gentle use, likely as a garaged, occasional driver rather than a daily commuter, and it sets this car apart as something special in a sea of high-mileage survivors. According to the seller, the car runs well and all major systems, from drivetrain to electricals, are in working order. Naturally, there are signs of cosmetic wear, particularly from years of sun exposure, but there is no mention of major damage or neglect, which makes it a straightforward candidate for light restoration or preservation. With a clean title in hand and only minor mechanical attention needed, this Lincoln is ready to be enjoyed almost immediately. For enthusiasts, it offers a chance to relive the golden age of land yachts, when cars were built to be as large and comfortable as possible, with massive interiors, soft suspension that seemed to float over the road, and styling that made every trip feel like an occasion. For just $2,500, it delivers the essence of 1970s American luxury: size, power, comfort, and presence, at a price that is hard to believe. Whether restored to show-level condition, kept as a budget-friendly weekend cruiser, or preserved as a low-mileage time capsule, this Continental is a car that will always draw attention and spark nostalgia wherever it goes. Number 10. Located in Lindenhurst, New York, and priced at $7,500 or best offer, this 1981 Chevrolet Camaro Z/28 Coupe is a second-generation F-body that blends originality with fresh mechanical life in a way that makes it immediately appealing to enthusiasts who want something they can both drive and continue to improve. The Z/28 was Chevrolet's performance-oriented Camaro trim, and by 1981 it was an icon of American muscle-inspired design, with aggressive striping, bold styling, and a reputation for power. This particular example carries that reputation proudly, with a freshly built 383-stroker engine under the hood, assembled by a professional machine shop and boasting just about 100 miles since completion. The motor is paired with a turbo 350 automatic transmission, a proven workhorse that balances strength and reliability, making the car a capable street performer. The engine bay showcases all new ignition components and accessories, highlighting the care that went into the rebuild and ensuring that the car starts and runs as it should. Beyond its mechanical heart, the Camaro retains its full interior, a rarity for second-generation models that have often been stripped down for drag racing or succumbed to wear and tear. It wears its original Z/28 wheels, features a functional cowl induction hood, and still has complete chrome trim circling the exterior. Structurally, the floors and trunk are reported to be solid, a major bonus on cars of this era that often struggle with rust. Cosmetically, the paint is older, likely redone some years ago, and while it remains presentable, small rust spots are beginning to appear, an expected reality for a driver-level classic. This is not a concours restoration, but it is not priced as one either. It is a car that can be enjoyed right now, with the freedom to improve cosmetically at the owner's pace. Currently registered, insured, and road-ready, this Camaro offers immediate gratification in the form of strong power, distinctive styling, and the raw feel of a true late 70s and early 80s American performance car. Adding to its appeal, the seller is open to trades for a Harley Dyna or other classic vehicles of similar value, which creates flexibility for buyers looking to make a swap rather than a purchase. For anyone who grew up admiring the second-generation Camaro, this Z/28 provides the perfect chance to own a piece of that history without breaking the bank, combining fresh mechanicals with a platform that will always have room for personalization and improvement. Number 11. The 1979 Lincoln Continental Town Car 4-door, currently offered at $8,400 and located in Bayside, New York, is not simply a vehicle for sale. It is an artifact from a time when American carmakers believed in building machines that represented power, prestige, and presence above all else. To see this car is to be reminded of the closing chapter of the land yacht era, when size itself was a statement, when chrome gleamed brighter than the sun, and when stepping into a Lincoln meant you had chosen one of the finest expressions of comfort and dignity that Detroit could create. This particular town car, with its long, commanding silhouette and its unmistakable grille that only a Lincoln could wear, is a survivor that manages to carry forward the aura of late 1970s luxury in a way that still makes people pause and stare. Everything about this Lincoln was designed to impress. Its roofline is straight and formal, its hood endlessly long, its body unapologetically square yet elegant. Even parked among modern cars, it dwarfs them in both physical scale and presence, standing like a monument to a different philosophy of driving. Unlike the sleek, wind tunnel-shaped cars of today, the Continental embraced angles and edges as symbols of status. The grille, tall, proud, and framed by quad headlights, tells everyone instantly that this is not just a car, it is a Lincoln. Under its hood lives Ford's 400 cubic inch, 6.6-liter, V8 engine, a power plant that was never about speed or sportiness but about delivering quiet, effortless torque. This motor allows the Lincoln to glide forward with grace, turning highway miles into smooth, almost dreamlike journeys. Paired with an automatic transmission, it shifts with seamless calm, letting the driver and passengers remain undisturbed. According to the seller, this particular town car starts reliably every time, runs smoothly, and cruises with confidence, showing no signs of major mechanical trouble. This is critical for a car of this era, and it speaks to the careful attention it has received. That attention is further proven by the list of recent mechanical updates. The thermostat housing has been replaced, fuel lines renewed, and ignition components, distributor, plugs, and wires, brought up to standard. A new alternator and fuel sender unit have been installed, ensuring even small details like a functioning fuel gauge are taken care of. A brand new battery sits under the hood, while all fluids and oils have been completely flushed and refreshed. To top it off, the Lincoln now wears a set of fresh tires, giving peace of mind for anyone who wants to take it straight onto the road. These updates are not cosmetic, they are fundamental, and they make this car stand above many others from its generation. It even carries a dual exhaust system, a subtle but enjoyable departure from the factory setup. Where the original exhaust would have been whisper quiet, this system gives the car a slightly deeper, more characterful note, adding personality without betraying Lincoln's refined image. It is the perfect balance of originality and enhancement. Cosmetically, this town car holds up well. Minor rust spots exist, but they are not structural or threatening. They are the sort of imperfections that come naturally with age, even adding to the car's honest survivor character. The body panels remain straight, a crucial detail for a car this large. The paint still holds a respectable shine, not concours perfect but certainly presentable and dignified, offering the kind of authentic patina that many collectors prefer over restored, artificially glossy examples. Step inside, and the cabin continues the story. The plush upholstery is still welcoming, the seats wide and soft like a living room sofa. The sense of space is immense. This is a car built to carry its passengers in serenity. Some features show their age. Only the driver's power window currently works, while the others need repair, and the central locking system functions only on the right-hand doors. But the seller has already expressed willingness to resolve these issues for the buyer, showing a commitment to passing along a well-functioning car. The radio, clock, and power antenna are currently non-functional, which is a common trait of electronics from this period. But for many enthusiasts, these quirks are not deal breakers, they are opportunities to restore, personalize, and enjoy the process of bringing vintage details back to life. What makes this 1979 Lincoln Continental town car so appealing is not only its condition but its symbolism. It is a car that carries the dignity of a bygone era, when owning such a machine meant you had truly achieved something. With its long body, strong mechanical health, and original V8 still quietly humming, this town car is ready to serve its next owner with the same grace it offered more than 40 years ago. Whether as a Sunday cruiser, a candidate for full restoration, or simply a dignified reminder of what American luxury used to mean, this Lincoln stands as a rolling piece of history. Number 12. Offered at $7,600 and located in Coloma, Oklahoma, this 1972 Cadillac sedan is a remarkable example of early 1970s American luxury preserved in a way that makes it desirable for collectors and enthusiasts alike. Cadillac at this time was still very much the undisputed king of the American road. The name itself was shorthand for excellence. The Cadillac of something was always the best. To own a Cadillac was to send a message to the world: you had arrived. And this car, with just 74,500 original miles and only 2 documented owners since new, carries that legacy proudly into the present. Finished in a classic blue exterior, it exudes dignity rather than flash. The proportions are long and commanding, unmistakably Cadillac, with graceful body lines that seem to stretch on forever. At the rear, the signature vertical tail lamps stand tall, a design feature that became one of the brand's most recognizable traits. The grille up front is broad and ornate, while massive chrome bumpers gleam like jewelry, adding both sparkle and strength. This was Cadillac's way of making sure every inch of the car communicated prestige. Mechanically, this Cadillac is said to be in solid running condition, described as turnkey and ready to drive. That phrase carries weight with classic cars. It means you can start it up, put it in gear, and go enjoy it without worrying about endless repairs. The automatic transmission shifts smoothly, while the suspension does what Cadillac suspensions did best: isolate the cabin from the outside world. Riding in this car is like floating on air. The steering is light, the engine quiet yet confident, and the experience is one of unmatched comfort. Modern cars may be more efficient, but very few can deliver this kind of serene driving experience. The interior is another highlight. Wide bench seats stretch across the cabin, cushioned so deeply they feel more like living room furniture than automotive seating. Passengers are surrounded by space, with generous legroom front and back. The dash layout, likely finished in brushed metal and faux wood trim, carries the functional elegance Cadillac was known for, with controls designed to be both stylish and intuitive. Sitting inside this car, you are not just driving, you are being transported in an environment built to remind you of your status. History also plays in its favor. With only 2 owners and a clean title, this car tells a story of continuity and care. It has not been heavily modified or tampered with. It remains largely original, which is rare and valuable for collectors. It is not a project car that needs rescuing but a survivor that can be enjoyed immediately. For buyers, the possibilities are wide open. It could serve as a comfortable daily driver, offering you the chance to turn every commute into a rolling statement of style. It could be preserved as is, valued for its originality and low mileage. Or it could become a centerpiece at car shows, where its presence and story would surely attract attention. Whatever the use, this Cadillac stands as a rolling reminder of the brand's golden age, when it truly was the standard of the world. Number 13. Offered at $6,500 and located in Waco, Texas, this 1978 Cadillac Seville tells a very different story than its larger siblings. In the late 1970s, Cadillac faced challenges it had never known before. Fuel crises, emissions regulations, and a change in consumer mindset all pushed American automakers to rethink what luxury meant. The Seville was Cadillac's bold answer, a smaller, more European-inspired car that still retained all the dignity and prestige of the Cadillac name. This 1978 Seville, with just 97,000 original miles and a clean title, is a living example of that turning point. From the outside, the Seville wears its angular, squared-off styling proudly. Finished in a period-correct brown, it has a look that is both elegant and unmistakably late 1970s. Chrome trim highlights its sharp lines, while its squared-off rear end gives it a distinctive profile. The car's proportions are tighter than the massive Cadillacs that preceded it, yet it never feels small. Instead, it feels modern for its time. Cadillac's attempt to compete with imported luxury while staying true to its brand identity. Wire-wheel covers add a touch of class, reminding you this was still the choice of someone who wanted refinement. Under the hood, the Seville is powered by a V8 engine mated to an automatic transmission, a combination built for reliability and smoothness. This was not about raw performance but about offering a driving experience that felt both confident and effortless. According to the seller, the car runs well and needs nothing major, making it ready for enjoyment today. The interior is where the Seville really shines. Cadillac made sure even its compact luxury car did not skimp on comfort. Plush seating, wood grain trim, and a thoughtful dashboard design make the cabin feel upscale. Many Sevilles came with advanced features for the time, including power seats and tilt steering, and while the seller does not list every detail, the car's originality suggests much of this remains intact. Sitting inside, you are surrounded by Cadillac's unique blend of tradition and forward-looking innovation. This Seville is not a project. It is a survivor, a car that has lived a full life yet remains intact, functional, and stylish. For collectors, it represents Cadillac's transitional era, when the brand adapted to new realities. For enthusiasts, it offers a chance to own a piece of history that is both elegant and approachable. It may not have the sheer size of a Fleetwood or a DeVille, but it carries equal amounts of charm and character, with the added appeal of rarity as these early Sevilles become harder to find in original condition. Number 14. Listed at $5,500 and located in Beaufort, Florida, this 1962 Chevrolet Malibu LS sedan offers a glimpse into Chevrolet's early 1960s midsize lineup, a time when the American car market was shifting and expanding rapidly. The Malibu name would later become legendary, attached to some of Chevrolet's most iconic cars, but in 1962 it was still finding its identity, a stylish, practical, and affordable option for families who wanted something with personality. This particular example, showing only 52,800 miles, is a survivor that remains largely original, making it an excellent choice for anyone looking to own a genuine piece of early 1960s Americana. Its exterior, finished in a charming shade of blue, captures the optimism of the era. The lines are simple and clean, without excessive ornamentation, yet still unmistakably stylish. The proportions are balanced, the trim tasteful, and the car's overall look is one of honest charm. This was a car built for everyday Americans, and its design reflects that, approachable, functional, and attractive without being over the top. The manual transmission sets this Malibu apart, offering a level of driver engagement that automatics of the time could not match. Shifting through the gears by hand connects you directly to the car's mechanical soul, a feature purists and enthusiasts appreciate. The seller notes that both the engine and transmission are in good working order, which is a major advantage for a car of this vintage. It means you can start enjoying it right away rather than sinking time and money into making it roadworthy. The body panels appear solid, and no structural rust or major damage is reported. The exterior condition shows the kind of gentle aging that comes with time, but nothing that detracts from its appeal. This is not a basket case project but a well-kept classic that can either be enjoyed as is or used as a foundation for restoration or customization. Inside, while specific details are not provided, you can expect the kind of simplicity that defined early 1960s Chevrolet interiors: bench seating, a straightforward dash, and easy-to-read gauges. These cabins may not have been luxurious, but they were comfortable and practical, offering everything drivers needed without unnecessary complication. With a clean title and few reported issues, this Malibu stands as an affordable entry into the world of classic cars. It can serve as a daily driver with vintage charm, a weekend cruiser that sparks conversation, or the starting point for a personalized build. Its honesty, originality, and solid foundation make it versatile, a blank canvas for whatever vision the next owner might have. Number 15. Priced at $6,500 and located in Summerville, South Carolina, this 1981 Oldsmobile Holiday 88 is a fascinating blend of rarity, classic GM styling, and unexpected performance. At first glance, it appears to be just another clean Oldsmobile sedan from the early 1980s, but dig deeper and you discover a car that is much more than it seems. With only around 1,680 examples of this model produced in 1981, the Holiday 88 is already a rare find. Add in the fact that this one has been upgraded with serious muscle under the hood, and you have a sleeper classic unlike almost anything else on the road. Externally, it remains true to its roots. The car still wears its original white paint, clean and straight, presenting a body that is structurally sound and visually appealing. From the outside, it projects the understated look of a well-kept Oldsmobile sedan, nothing flashy, nothing screaming for attention. That's what makes it such a great sleeper. It hides its performance potential behind a mask of refinement. Pop the hood, and the story changes. Instead of the original engine, this Holiday 88 now houses a 383-stroker motor based on a 1996 LT1 platform. This setup transforms the car into a legitimate street machine, with an Edelbrock 750 carburetor delivering fuel, electric fans keeping temperatures under control, and an electric fuel pump ensuring reliable flow. The power is sent through a 700R4 automatic transmission with a stall converter, giving the car strong off-the-line acceleration while still allowing for comfortable cruising. This combination of vintage looks and modernized performance makes the Oldsmobile a true wolf in sheep's clothing. Inside, the cabin remains largely original, which adds to the charm. Bucket seats and a factory floor shifter provide a sporty feel unusual for this type of car. While not restored to showroom perfection, the interior is more than usable, offering a glimpse into how Oldsmobile blended comfort with subtle hints of performance in the early 1980s. The seller is upfront about a few items that need attention. The car currently requires a full exhaust system, or radiator upgrade, and some minor cosmetic touch-ups. But the heavy lifting, the expensive and complex engine work, has already been done. What remains are finishing touches that give the next owner freedom to personalize the car to their liking. This Holiday 88 is appealing on multiple levels. For collectors, it is rare, with very few built and even fewer surviving in clean condition. For enthusiasts, it is exciting, hiding serious performance under a conservative exterior. And for anyone who appreciates the sleeper ethos, it is perfect, a car that looks modest but can surprise and impress with what's under the hood. Rare, powerful, and full of potential, this 1981 Oldsmobile Holiday 88 is a piece of GM history with a modern twist, a car that blends classic style with muscle car heart. Number 16. Offered for $3,000 or best reasonable offer and located in Kings Park, New York, this 1984 Oldsmobile Toronado Coupe 2-door is more than just a dormant automobile. It is a surviving artifact of an era when American personal luxury coupes were designed to stand apart from the crowd, and it now sits quietly after a decade of slumber, waiting patiently for someone with vision and appreciation to coax it back into the spotlight. The seller notes that it has been off the road for about 10 years. But what makes this listing so promising is that it still runs, which means that beneath the layers of dust and the years of stillness, its heart remains alive, most likely the original Oldsmobile 5.0L or 5.7L V8 engine, a motor that represented the balance of smooth power and dependability in that period. And while anyone who has dealt with reviving a classic knows that a long slumbering engine requires fluids flushed, belts and hoses replaced, brakes serviced, and tires swapped, the mere fact that the drivetrain still starts is an enormously positive sign that this car is not beyond salvation. One of the unique aspects of the Toronado is that unlike most of its peers in the personal luxury segment of the 1980s, which were almost universally rear-wheel drive, Oldsmobile engineered the Toronado with a front-wheel drive layout, a decision that marked it as unconventional but also highly innovative for its time, making it a fascinating piece of General Motors engineering history. On the outside, the Toronado carried with it the full character of the decade: sleek, squared body lines, imposing proportions, and the kind of bold front fascia with hidden headlights that lend it an air of understated sophistication. These cars were also known for offering upscale options like padded landau roofs, digital dashboards, and plush upholstery choices that gave them a sense of technological advancement blended with traditional American comfort. This particular car's story, however, extends beyond its engineering. Its interior has been disassembled, yet the seller emphasizes that every single piece is still present, included in the sale. So unlike many restoration projects where the challenge is not just fixing the mechanicals but tracking down long discontinued trim pieces, knobs, upholstery panels, or dash components, here the puzzle is complete, waiting only for a dedicated enthusiast to carefully reassemble the cabin. In its heyday, the Toronado embodied the spirit of personal luxury, a car built not for raw performance but for stylish cruising, quiet rides down wide American boulevards, and the confidence of a driver cocooned in plushness while piloting something distinctly different from the mainstream. Today, with its distinctive 1980s design language and its rarity on the roads, it has shifted into the category of forgotten classics, vehicles that are not yet fully embraced by mainstream collectors but are slowly gaining appreciation among those who understand their unique charm. For someone who enjoys the satisfaction of rescuing a piece of history, this car represents a low-cost entry into that world, a project that could be turned into a show-stopping conversation piece at local meets, or simply a unique weekend cruiser that proudly showcases Oldsmobile's boldness in stepping away from convention. It is not turnkey, it will demand patience, mechanical attention, and some interior elbow grease, but for the right buyer, this Toronado has all the bones to come back to life, to roll once more with its unusual front-wheel drive character and its unmistakable presence, reminding everyone that sometimes the most interesting classics are not the obvious ones, but the ones that dared to be different. Number 17. Located in Bonaire, Georgia, and priced at $8,500, this 1973 Chevrolet C10 long bed is not just another old pickup sitting in someone's yard. It is a genuine opportunity for a restorer, builder, or enthusiast to step into a project that already comes with a strong foundation and a head start in the right places, combining mechanical promise with the kind of parts cache that makes future work easier and less costly. At its heart is a 350 cubic inch 4-bolt main small block V8, a legendary engine in Chevrolet's lineup that is celebrated for its durability, immense parts support, and flexibility for performance upgrades. And this particular motor, while described as running and strong on top, does need bottom-end work, which likely means attention to bearings or crankshaft. Yet, the silver lining is that the truck does already start, idle, drive, and stop, which instantly puts it miles ahead of the non-running shells that populate the market and which require tow trucks and major financial outlays before even turning a wheel. Backing the engine is a TH350 automatic transmission that has already been professionally rebuilt, which is not only a financial saving but also a huge time advantage, since transmission rebuilds are one of the more expensive and inconvenient parts of restoring an old vehicle. Cosmetically, the C10 does show its age, with rust visible across the body and bed, a reality for many long bed pickups that spent their lives doing exactly what they were designed for: working, hauling, and living through decades of wear. But the beauty of this truck lies in what the seller has included: a substantial collection of brand new, boxed parts ready to be installed, including new carpet to refresh the interior, a new dash pad to replace the aging original, new seat belts for safety and correctness, a lowering kit for those who want the truck to sit with a custom stance, a replacement cab floor pan to properly tackle rust, and even a new tailgate. Collectively, these parts not only represent a considerable investment that the seller has already made but also provide a massive head start for the buyer, who now doesn't have to spend endless hours scouring catalogs or forums looking for what they need. Trucks like this 1973 C10 long bed are among the most versatile classics on the market today. They can be restored back to original form with gleaming paint and polished trim, transformed into restomods with modern drivetrains and suspension upgrades, or turned into low-slung shop trucks that wear their patina proudly while sporting a lowered stance and modern wheels. This particular truck, with its clean title, honest presentation, and mix of running condition plus included parts, is the perfect platform for any of those directions, and at $8,500 it offers a chance to build something meaningful without starting from scratch. For the right buyer, this isn't just a project, it is the beginning of a story, a chance to take a truck that has already lived a hard-working life and give it a second chapter as a cherished, personalized machine. Number 18. Offered at $4,500 and located in Dallas, Texas, this 1980 Chevrolet El Camino represents the sort of classic that continues to fascinate enthusiasts precisely because of its unusual dual-purpose nature, straddling the line between car and truck, coupe and pickup, luxury cruiser and practical hauler. This particular example, finished in a brown hue that perfectly channels the earthy color palettes so popular in the late 1970s and early 1980s, shows approximately 140,000 miles on its odometer and comes equipped with an automatic transmission, making it approachable for just about any driver. According to the seller, it does start, run, and drive, which means that it is more than just a static display, though the listing is vague on specifics about the cosmetic and mechanical details, leaving some mystery for the next owner to unravel. For seasoned GM enthusiasts, especially those familiar with the El Camino's A-body underpinnings, this kind of vehicle is an open canvas with enormous potential. The El Camino, ever since its inception, has held a unique place in the American automotive landscape, embodying the idea that one could have the comfort and styling of a car while still enjoying the utility of a truck bed, a combination that made it attractive to everyone from contractors who wanted style to hobbyists who liked practicality without sacrificing flair. By 1980, the El Camino was well established, and this example remains a perfect candidate for either preservation or transformation. A buyer could opt to restore it to factory specification, with fresh paint, interior reconditioning, and mechanical refresh, or they could choose to embrace the custom culture that surrounds El Caminos and pursue an LS engine swap, suspension upgrades, and a set of modern wheels, turning it into a street machine with vintage flair. Others might prefer to keep its patina and simply make it reliable, using it as an affordable daily driver classic that still garners attention at gas stations and local shows. At $4,500, it sits at an entry-level price point that leaves room in the budget for upgrades, and for those who have always wanted an El Camino, it offers a chance to step into ownership without breaking the bank. The beauty of this particular car is not that it is perfect but that it is open-ended. It can become whatever the next owner envisions, from workhorse to showpiece, from weekend cruiser to wild custom, and in every scenario, it still carries that unique charm of being part car, part truck, and all personality. Number 19. Listed at $4,500 and located in Norwalk, Connecticut, this 1987 Chevrolet 1500 regular cab short bed pickup is a classic square-body truck that blends timeless styling with the kind of mechanical foundation that makes it endlessly customizable, reparable, and lovable. Under the hood lies a 350 cubic inch small block V8, which is very likely either a replacement or a rebuilt unit since not every 1500 of that model year came with this displacement, but in either case, it provides exactly the kind of power and reliability that enthusiasts seek. Paired with a four-wheel drive system, this truck is capable not only of handling daily tasks but also of being built into an off-road rig or a dependable winter driver, giving it flexibility that many two-wheel drive counterparts lack. The seller notes that it is a custom truck, though does not provide extensive details on what modifications have been performed, which could mean anything from cosmetic paint and wheels to suspension alterations or interior upgrades. And for a potential buyer, that mystery is both a challenge and an opportunity to dig deeper and discover what makes this example unique. What is certain, however, is that it is not turnkey. It needs work, and the odometer reading is currently unknown, so it is being sold as is to someone willing to take on that challenge. Yet the growing desirability of square-body Chevy trucks cannot be overstated. They have exploded in popularity due to their simple mechanics, their rugged and straightforward design, and the massive aftermarket support that makes sourcing parts almost effortless. The short bed regular cab configuration only adds to its appeal, giving it a sportier, more compact stance that collectors and customizers alike are seeking out. Whether the next owner chooses to bring it back to original factory condition, polish it into a period-correct restoration, or build it into a custom rig with modern power and suspension, this 1987 Chevrolet 1500 provides an affordable, solid starting point. At its core, it remains a true American truck, straightforward, strong, and capable of serving in whatever role it is asked to perform, and with a little effort and creativity, it can become something truly special. Number 20. At just $750, this 1977 GMC Sierra Grande C2500 long bed may be one of the most affordable classic trucks currently available, and while its condition is far from pristine, its value lies in its honesty, its functionality, and the raw utility it still offers. Located in St. Mary's, Idaho, this Sierra Grande presents itself as a rugged survivor of decades of use, finished in a weathered brown paint that has been baked by the sun and scarred by time, with rust present throughout the wheel wells, rocker panels, cab corners, and other areas that these trucks were prone to suffering from. Yet despite the extensive cosmetic wear, this truck still runs and drives, which is an enormous selling point at such a low price. Under the hood is a V8 engine, most likely a 350 or 400 small block, that still fires up and carries its duty backed by a dependable automatic transmission. According to the seller, the lights, heater, and even the radio remain functional, which, while seemingly minor details, actually speak volumes about the truck's underlying resilience and the fact that it has remained operable and useful throughout its life. The brakes do need some minor attention, which should not come as a surprise on a truck of this age, but otherwise, it offers immediate utility. Carrying a clean title, it can be registered and transferred with ease, making it accessible for a buyer who needs a cheap and running truck right away. For someone in need of a farm vehicle, a wood hauler, or a property workhorse, this truck delivers value well beyond its asking price, able to be pressed into daily chores without concern for scratches or dents because its battle scars are already part of its story. And yet, beyond its workhorse potential, there remains the possibility of restoration, though that would require commitment and vision to overcome the rust. For an enthusiast, however, even a rusty C-Series truck carries undeniable charm, representing an era when trucks were built to last, when simplicity and strength defined their engineering, and when style, even in its utilitarian form, carried an unmistakable boldness. At under $1,000, this Sierra Grande proves that classic ownership does not always have to break the bank, and for the right buyer, it offers a piece of authentic American truck history that still has plenty of life and grit left to give.